Hello and welcome. I'm Carrie Metkowski, the founder of Carrie TV, the place to be to get the best tips, tools, and techniques to help you create a rockin' workplace. And today we've got Marshall Goldsmith with us. And he's going to be sharing one of my all-time favorite leadership tips on how to avoid favoritism. Let's get started.
Avoiding favoritism. I've looked at leadership profiles from over 100 major companies, and they all look about the same to me. They all want to encourage integrity and innovation and people and quality and teamwork and all these good values. One behavior that's never on any of those leadership profiles, though, is funny, is a behavior I see out there in the world all the time. What is the name of this puzzling behavior that every company says they do not want, and every leader says they do not want, yet I see it so frequently? It is called effectively sucks up to higher management. Every company says we hate suck-ups. Every leader says, I hate suck-ups. If everyone hates suck-ups so much, why does so much sucking up go on? Well, it goes on because we all tend to create an environment where people learn to suck up to us. Now, I know exactly what you're probably thinking now. You know what you're thinking? Yes, Marshall is making a good point. I see other leaders encourage suck-ups all the time. I find it to be disgusting myself, but the other leaders do it on a regular basis. We see this encouraging suck-ups problem is incredibly easy to observe. Where? In everybody else. It's just hard to observe where? In the mirror. Now, I'm going to give you an example I use in my classes to point out how we all tend to create an environment that encourages suck-ups. I ask the people in my classes, how many of you own a dog that you love? Oh, and they all wave their hands, and I say, what's the name of your dog? They say, oh, Biffy and Spot, and they get all excited. Then I say, well, that's very good. And do you love your dog? Oh, I love my dog. Then I ask a question. What family member gets the most unqualified positive recognition? Would that be the husband, wife, or partner? Perhaps if you have them, would it be the children? Or might it be the dog? In about 80% of all cases, the family member that gets the most unqualified positive recognition is the dog. I then ask, well, do you really love your dog more than the other members of your family? Invariably, they say, well, no, of course not. Well, I say, why is the dog the family member who gets the most unqualified positive recognition? Well, they say, well, the dog doesn't talk back, and the dog doesn't judge me, and the dog doesn't critique me. And when I come home, the dog is happy to see me, and the dog hops up and down and licks me. The dog is a suck-up. And what behavior do we reinforce? Suck-ups. Now, I'm going to give you guidelines on how to avoid encouraging suck-ups and avoid favoritism. Number one, rank order your direct reports 4 ways. The first is, how much do they like me? Now, you don't know how much they like you. What's important is not what you know, it's what you think. See, we all say we hate suck-ups. We hate obvious suck-ups. We hate blatant suck-ups. We hate embarrassing suck-ups. We hate bad suck-ups. We like those good suck-ups that don't look like they're sucking up. Rank order these people in terms of how much do they like me. Number 2, rank order these people in terms of how much are they like me. How much do they remind me of that ever so special and lovely me? I find a lot of people play favorites with people they don't like, especially people like engineers. It sounds like this. He's a jerk, but he's an engineer. Fine person, not an engineer. What's the message? If you're not an engineer, you don't count. Or a lawyer, or a doctor, or whoever reminds me of myself. Number 3, what is their contribution to our company and our customers? Who's making the biggest positive difference? And then number 4, how much positive personal recognition do I give them? If we're honest with ourselves, in 15 to 20% of the cases, recognition is more highly correlated with 1 or 2 than it is with 3. And we may be falling into a trap we despise in others. What is that trap? Teaching others to suck up to us. And every time we get promoted, this trap gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Hey, thanks for watching. What was your single biggest takeaway from today's episode? Leave it in the comments below. Did you find something unusually useful? Well, then don't forget to share it with a friend. And as always, please subscribe to the channel. Remember, rockin' workplaces happen because people like you and me show up and do the work. I'll see you next week.